think if you go back and look at kind of the evolution of the inspection process at NASCAR, it's been one of sort of taking advantage of the technology of the time. The implementation of this new inspection technology at NASCAR is more of an evolution than anything of a step change in what we do. When a vehicle's rolled into the tent, the first thing we do is it starts a scanning process. There's 8 projectors, there's 16 cameras around the outside of the car, and there's 1 underneath it. The projectors will project a pattern of lights and dots and lines onto the car that the cameras will then track. When that's all said and done, which is about 30 seconds, it's not a long period of time, the cameras have then been able to create what we call a point cloud. So we effectively have created a 3D point cloud that if you were to just look at it on the computer and rotate around, would look like the surface of the vehicle. We then take additional steps to align that to the CAD model, and at that point we will then compare the difference from the points to the CAD and color them different colors, if you will, depending on how far away they are from the tolerance. Not always did we have a whole lot of team involvement. Often it was the opposite of that. It was NASCAR going off and coming up with new ways of inspecting the cars to the rule books, and I think that this is a pretty big departure from that, in that, I'd say that the tail end of last year, we were working with 3 teams, but in reality, we were working with just about the entire garage on the Cup side to figure out, not if we're gonna do this, but hey, this is coming. Because it's coming, what is the best way to implement this so that we implement it in a way so that we don't surprise them with how it's gonna be done, and that once we do it, it's not a case of where they say, well, why are they doing it that way? If by chance something were to show up at the racetrack this year that, say, did not meet the tolerances that we talked about, the teams will not get on the racetrack in practice until they go through that system and pass the scan before they're cleared to be on the racetrack. We don't want people to fail. So we want to incentivize teams to show up with cars that they know can get through the system. Any team, big or small, that wants to come down here and see where their car stands, we've offered that up free of charge. We've had well over 100 appointments in half-hour blocks that in the last 2 weeks have gone from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. without stop.